Whoo, we are back, and I still want to beat Zora.
NERDSoul.
Late LK at OneYoungsta, holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people, today? Oh yeah, coming with another wonderful episode of On Screen. We are about to catch up with the premiere of a family that has to make room for God. A family that's fractured but has to figure out a way to unify, to battle off harmony and hope. A family that just, you know what? Skip all that. We talk about Greenleaf. And you know what? We're going to get it started with Carissa. Is it me or is, like, I would have thought after last season, Carissa would have kind of, reeled it in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Maybe started chilling a little something. And holla at me in the comments. Let me know. Do you like Carissa? Are you like, Carissa catches a bad rap? Carissa, she ain't did nothing to nobody. She ain't hurt nobody. Let me know what you think about that and this episode down below, because Carissa about to get on my nerves. Here's the thing. Carissa has been combative. She has been very argumentative since day one. She's been has this entitled attitude, idea about her, I guess, status in the church, status in the family. And even in situations where they're at the table and she's arguing back and forth with Grace, talking about the family, this, that, and the third, it's like, blah, 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 blah. You were married into this family, all right? Why don't you take a back seat for just a second? You acting like you was born into this, all right? Just, hey, look, know your place, know your place. And speaking about knowing a place, even though I'm gonna talk about Charity in a second, because Charity be getting on my nerves too, but when Charity jumped up on Carissa for a second, I was like, yeah, knock some sense into her. Now, before I move on, I do not condone the knocking of sense unless the knocking of sense is warranted. But with that said, I think it's actually kind of warranted. Speaking of knocking sense, did Zora learn anything? Like, I feel like our girl was dumb, right? And she did dumb things. And she didn't fully have to pay for those dumb things. And she was safe and back with the family. And therefore, I'm thinking, you know what? She gonna straighten up and fly right. And this episode seems to be about a week or maybe 2 weeks after what we just saw last season. So it ain't been a long time. And she's still tripping. Oh, look, there's something about like cursing in front of your parents. It's just like, don't do it. That's one. Second thing, I'm like, thank you. See, NERDSoul knows what's up. See, here's the thing. Zora had already ran off, acted wild, and now she's sort of doing the same thing, saying she a grown woman, lying to her parents, lying to her grandmama, just to get into this, I guess, like the pool house or something like that. Shorty be lying on top of lying on top of lying. And speaking of lying, let's talk about the shorty on the deaconess board. Is it Corinna? No, the secretary was Corinne. I can't remember, but you know who I'm talking about. I'll put her face up like right now. And basically, she be lying. She dirty. She just as slimy as everybody else. All she wants is power in the church, just like anyone else does. And she all up in Bob's face, trying to smile and cheesing and stuff. Turning it over to the man. Turning it over to the man. Now, lastly, before the break, I do want to talk about the man. Bob was mad out of place up there talking about the church hats, and just, you could see he definitely has like this is just business vibe. Like, dude was really on some like, look, we here to make money, the end. And I don't know how you feeling, man. Like, this is not going to end well, because I just think that it's going to come out later on what he's been doing with other churches, how they've been failing, how those pastors have been and stuff like that. I don't think it's going to be a good look. And I think they might leave this church worse off than when they found it, even though it was like filled with turmoil and scandal when they showed up. But guys, we got a ton of other stuff to get to after the break. But first, of course, Cure Brand's going to help us what? Pay them bills.
My name is Jay. I am the writer of Time Slingers and the co-host of the StreetGeeks podcast, and you are watching NERDSoul.
Oh yeah, check the link below. Hat shirts, hoodies, all that jazz. And once you find something you like, of course, cop it. Now, let's get into Grace, who is she's definitely in a weird spot. You see that she knows Harmony and Hope is definitely, they worse than what we already got. You know, her mom and dad can't get along, but at this moment, they're definitely better than some people that just want to come through and just use it as like an ATM, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Just talk about, let's get some more services so we can make some more money. Ain't nothing had to do with changing people's lives, transforming people's situations or conditions, or doing something for the community. It's all about that dollar. And speaking about that dollar, you can see where even Bob walks past Grace before she gives a sermon like, yo, keep it short, move it on, let's get it going, let's get this paper. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what she's gonna do with the little bit of leverage she has, even with trying to get her brother and sister into the church. I mean, she got Jacob in there, true that. And Charity, we're gonna talk about her in a second, but her with the underhandedness, her with the crying and the whining and the moaning and complaining, I don't know if Grace can do anything for that girl. And before we get to that girl, let's talk about Ma Dukes real quick. Grace and Ma Dukes actually agreeing in like, I think maybe 2 episodes in a row. That's kind of refreshing or scary. I don't know how to put it, but I will say this. With mom and dad, you know what I'm saying? You saw, you know, Ma Dukes put a little something on dad real quick. She was giving him something that he could feel, you know, showed him a little shoulder, put a little shoulder on there for him, you know what I'm saying? A little something, just so he could be like, what's it gonna take for me to get back in my bedroom, girl? And she was like, I don't know, you just gonna have to try harder, child. Okay, all right, maybe it didn't sound just like that, but in my head, it sounded kind of like that. Anyway, slide that to the side. Let's get back to the girl. Charity, Yeah, Charity is the most immature, grown-up person maybe on television at this point in time. I mean, look at all the stuff that went down with Kev. Look at everything that's going on with just her family life and everything's going on with her, quote, professional life. Old girl always talk about preaching. She ain't did. I'm not saying that if you are called, you have to go through seminary and all this, but I don't even think she's tried to read through the Bible. Like, girl ain't did, she talk about she gonna preach a sermon on something. Like, what? What's your weak sermon story making up? Jesus bless that girl. Now, before I get out of here, I wanna know what you think about Sophia and Jacob, because Sophia has always been that bright light that I think is about to bounce, and who knows who's gonna fill that void. And Jacob, how long do you expect him to hold on with someone like Carissa who's constantly berating him? That mixed with this secret trick baby that Grace got, man, we don't know how this is going to shake up. But holla at me, I'm going to holla at you. Down in them comments, let's talk Greenleaf. Happy is back. Happy is crazy. But I really wish the family would be a little more unified to fight the external forces. But of course, before I bounce, we're going to tell you to hit up ThatNERDSoul.com. That's right. Check me out right there. All my videos from the oldest, newest, latest, greatest, and all that. Then hit up shop.ThatNERDSoul.com and pick yourself up a t-shirt player. Don't forget to get one for them playettes. Then come back here, like, comment, subscribe, and share that NERDSoul. That's right. There's no better way that I can show people that you like what you are watching. So, LA, what up? VA, what up? RVA, you got my heart. And please be good to yourselves. Please be good to each other. And remember, when you leave the bathroom, check your feet, because you just never know. Peace.